case of rape against an employer was postponed pending the outcome of the High Court review application that's been lodged by the defense. Piet Retief, a domestic worker, accused the employer of raping her 4 days after she started working for him. Our reporter Sibongile Mkani-Mpolweni was at the court. Let's now cross live to her. Sibongile, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Just before we look at the reasons behind the postponement, just remind us of the details of this particular case.
Yes, good afternoon, Palisa. The case happened 4 years ago where the 31-year-old woman started working at these employers here in Piet Retief. She says on her 4th day, what happened is that the accused wife left to take the kids to school, and during that time the husband allegedly grabbed her, attacked her and raped her at their dining room there at the house. She was locked inside. She could not run away. She tried to scream, but the guy was powerful and is tall and built. She couldn't scream hard enough for anyone to hear. But a few minutes later, the wife came back from dropping the kids from school. She found her in the kitchen crying and asked her what was wrong. She said she couldn't say anything because the husband was behind her. But the wife went to the bedroom. She followed the wife to the bedroom. That's where she told her that her husband had just raped her. The wife, instead of sympathizing, she alleges that the wife slapped her in the face, saying that her husband would never sleep with a black woman or a black person, and that she was lying. She came out screaming, grabbed the remote control and let herself out and went straight to the police station. The police station is just less than a kilometer away from the house. She went there and reported the matter. She was taken to the hospital where DNA was taken from her. And they tried to arrest the guy, but the wife said that he had gone to Durban and he handed himself over to the police a few days after the incident. Now, what happened is that the case then was brought to court, which were 2 cases. The one of assault, where she alleges that the wife assaulted her, and the rape one. The case of assault, it was just withdrawn without her knowledge. She says that the prosecutor told her that they will deal with that case after this case has been done. But when we spoke to the NPA said the case was not withdrawn, but it was separated from the rape case because it's not the same offense. It happened 2 separate things. So that case is set aside. It will be dealt with. Now, the rape one, the police went and took samples from the employer, the former employer now, and they did the test there. And then a week later, they went to take samples from her partner, the lady's partner, and upon taking the results to the court, that's where an error occurred, an admin error, where the labeling of the results was, instead of writing the name of Mr. Swartz, who is the accused, they wrote the name of the boyfriend. And these are the results that linked Mr. Swartz to the rape. Now, the defense is saying that, no, the name that was not there is not Mr. Swartz, but that of the boyfriend. Therefore, they are disputing those results. Now, upon that, the magistrate then ordered that the tests, because the tests were not tampered with, and they have those seal numbers that explain that these tests are actually for Palisa, and these tests are actually for Sibongile, and in this case the boyfriend and the accused. So the court ordered that they must redo the test, but the defense is saying no, we cannot go through that again. It would be unfair to the accused, so we cannot have the lab retest those tests to determine who as DNA matches the one that was found on the victim. So now they have applied to the High Court, where they are asking the High Court to review the decision taken by the magistrate to force those results to be redone. Now, they've postponed this case several times for this very same thing, Palisa. When we spoke to the woman this morning, she wept in court and outside court, saying that this thing has delayed her. She has no formal education. Her only job she knows was to be a domestic worker. And right now she can't trust men. She has this phobia around men, and she cannot work anywhere else. And this case is dragging on and on and on, and she can't continue with her life. Her life is stagnant, and each time she has to come here to this court, she relives this. There was another case that she opened against these people because they followed her here in outside court the other other day wanting her to withdraw the charges, and she's saying that she lives in fear. But the wheels of justice are slowly grinding. Right now, as we stand, there is no date for that review at the High Court. They've applied for the review at the Pretoria High Court, there, that side in Gauteng. So we will hear on the 15th of October, when they come back again, whether the date has been set, because the review will be like also another trial where they will have to sit there and argue it. We know that the NPA has already indicated that it will oppose that review when it's taken at the High Court, Palisa.
Right. Sibongile, this of course must be very devastating for the victim. It's dragged for over 4 years, as you say. But in terms of protection, has the victim been provided with the necessary protection, seeing that she claims to be followed by the family?
No protection has been done, and she did open the case with the police. There is a docket, but nothing is being said about that in court, Palisa. No protection whatsoever.
Sibongile, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much indeed to our reporter Sibongile Mkani-Mpolweni, live from Piet Retief in Mpumalanga, of course, updating us on that particular case. We'll wait and see what the outcome is from the High